About a month ago, I deleted TikTok off of my phone, and I also deleted my TikTok account so I can never get back onto it. I did this because I'd spend about 7 to 8 hours a day on my phone just scrolling through TikTok videos, and about a month later, I have not regretted that decision one bit. In this video, I'm going to be explaining my experiences with TikTok, the events that led me to delete it, and why deleting it was probably one of the best decisions I have ever made. I first discovered TikTok back in 2018, when that one person posted that hit or miss thing, and then everyone was making fun of it. This is around the time when Musical.ly rebranded itself to TikTok, and if you were caught with TikTok on your phone, it was basically just raps for you, honestly. I remember seeing all the content online. People act like people were just the devil for posting things on TikTok. The only content that I see would be positive about it were just people that back when duets were added, and they would just duet random people's weird cringe roleplay TikToks.
What would you do if I told you that I want to die? Would you even care? Now that I think about it, you probably wouldn't.
But besides that, the internet treated this thing like the absolute devil. If you were to be caught on TikTok, you'd just be shunned from society. That's how bad people treated this app. 1 year later, in 2019, the hate for TikTok kind of died down, but it was still kind of considered cringe to have it on your phone. This is around the time that I downloaded it on my phone for the first time, and by phone I meant my iPad. I don't want to be that person, but I did in fact download TikTok as a joke because I saw all the internet hate for it, but I quickly got very, very hooked to it at the time. It was a very original concept. You scroll and these short form videos would just pop up on your feed, and it was just really cool to see all this type of content and creativity just going out, and you could just search for anything. In my mind at the time, it was like a better version of YouTube. So I kept watching TikTok content all the way through 2019, and then in 2020, the legendary COVID pandemic happened. When this pandemic happened, everyone kind of just forgot about hating on TikTok for a bit, and everyone just got on TikTok. I personally consider 2020 TikTok, especially during the summer months of quarantine, to be the best era of it. I'm not going to try and sit here and act like people weren't negative on it, but it was generally a lot more positive on TikTok. There weren't as much features back then, so videos were a lot more creative with what they did and what the trends were. It was also around this time that TikTok would unlock its potential through political type videos. As the May Black Lives Matter protests happened, there would be a lot of content posted about it on TikTok, and this is about the time that people kind of discovered that political videos on this website were pretty profitable. But it wasn't as bad back then. This may just be nostalgia bias, but overall I feel like that in the older days of TikTok, the sounds were way better, the trends were way more creative. You wouldn't get burnt out watching it for more than 5 minutes. TikTok helped me discover a lot of new interests and hobbies that I never knew existed past that point. During quarantine, I played a lot of Call of Duty Warzone, so I would constantly go on TikTok just to look at all the different videos people were posting about it. And this is kind of the rise of those Warzone loadout videos. This is kind of where that started, was on TikTok because of the quarantine. I also remember the GTA green alien versus purple alien trend. That one was that was a pretty interesting trend. Overall, everyone just being united in quarantine and posting videos was just such a magical era for TikTok. It really enhanced my quarantine experience when I was just sitting in my room having nothing to do all day because school was out and everywhere was closed. After the dreaded year of 2020, though, this is when TikTok kind of started to decline a little bit. There wasn't exactly anything bad I can pinpoint about 2021, but TikTok content in 2021 kind of got a bit stale, to be honest. The pandemic was starting to end. It didn't officially end yet, but things were opening back up again. People had less time to make these silly little TikTok videos, and they had to go back to living their responsible lives. Mostly the space was just kind of dominated by unemployed bums or dumb teenagers, so I think definitely that could have contributed to the content, but I don't know, 2021 content was stale, but it was still entertaining to scroll through videos when you were bored. This would kind of continue into 2022 and 2023. There was nothing really too exciting about it. I believe it was 2023 when they added slideshows, which I like the slideshow features, but after they added the slideshow features, TikTok trends just became so boring. I get that every TikTok trend before that point was just a Charli D'Amelio or Addison Rae dancing video, but at least those videos were creative. Every slideshow trend is just the exact same thing, and it's just kind of annoying how they just basically replaced the main source of content creation on this website. In 2024, tragedy struck, however. I for some reason cannot find the copyright law for the life of me, so you're just gonna have to kind of take my word on this, but some sort of copyright law hit TikTok where a lot of their sounds got copyrighted and removed off the website. The main appeal for TikTok is that copyright basically just didn't exist on that website. You could just use any music, any sound you wanted, and it allowed for a lot more creative freedom within the platform. However, big companies do what they do best and just ruin everything that's free. The world was starting to discover how profitable TikTok really was. To combat this, a new copyright law was put on TikTok where a lot of famous like sounds from popular artists and stuff were just permanently muted. This was detrimental as a lot of communities, such as the editing community, had to find new ways to get their audios for their edits, which really sucked. I remember a trend for a while where people would post these anime edits, but they do use the most goofiest songs imaginable. But that was just kind of the beginning of the end. As we all know, a lot of the internet memes that we laugh at are pretty fucking stupid. And that fact was nowhere more apparent than TikTok. As 2024 ended and it moved into 2025, TikTok's videos in general just kind of got very sloppy. I remember a trend this year in 2025 where it was literally just a slideshow asking people to check the sound, and that was it. TikTok also kind of went down the Twitter route, and most people just started posting for the sake of just getting engagement and nothing else. Remember when I said that political videos were also very profitable on TikTok? Yeah, so people started to use that full potential to its max, and now here's the state of TikTok in 2025. In my brief summary of TikTok in 2025, it's nothing but people arguing, political videos with no sources to back it up, straight up brain rot that not even an iPad could stomach, and overall just sloppy content. The average anime power scaling video is more healthy than any video you'll ever see on TikTok anymore, and it's just so sad. Whenever a huge political event happens, which I'm not going to name a specific one, but you'll probably know by what I'm talking about, there's just constant propaganda and lies being spread by both sides of it. Every political post on TikTok nowadays is either someone engagement farming, or it's someone trying to push their own personal narrative with no proof to back it up. TikTok also added a bunch of features from other websites too, which made it just kind of not unique anymore. I remember in 2018 it was a big trend for people to write stuff on paper because they couldn't put text on the screen. And I remember a lot of the trends and the way people used to express themselves back then was using the filters, but every filter nowadays is just some sort of weird like game that they can just post using a bot. Or a Family Guy clip of like 8 different Subway Surfers clips at the bottom. The whole 60 seconds max thing is also gone. You can just post like straight up just 1 hour clips on TikTok now. Every feature that made TikTok is just gone now, and it's just so sad to see because this app was just really special, you know? There was no big news sources on it. There weren't any like big companies constantly trying to push an ad into your face. It was just people posting in a time of distress, that being the quarantine pandemic. The quarantine pandemic? What the fuck? But now every big company's found out how profitable it is. No one on this app likes each other anymore. It's pure just engagement farming. And the worst thing is they figured out how to hook your dopamine receptors to keep you scrolling as much as possible. This year on TikTok was rough for me. I would spend days just constantly scrolling, trying to find some inch of content that I even liked. And this would just keep me just sitting there on my couch for hours, just scrolling until I actually found something that I liked. And then when I would try to like engage with it as much as possible to get more of that content, it would just show me another political engagement bait video. I had enough of just wasting my day just on my phone, so I just full on deleted it. I've deleted the app before because I had spent too much time on it, but I knew that I would be back since I still had my account, so I just full on deleted my account too. And I have not touched TikTok in about a month. It's really sad to see a free space for people to express themselves just get ruined by everything. Most TikTok videos made today aren't meant to help any viewer. They're meant purely for engagement and pushing narratives that don't even make sense. You could say that this video that I'm making right now is me pushing my narrative that I don't like TikTok, therefore you shouldn't either, but if you still watch TikTok in 2025, I do not care. I just think as a person who's been on it since 2019, it's just degraded heavily. I waste too much time on it. It makes me less of an efficient person. I just kind of don't like being glued to my phone like a zombie. It is, in my personal opinion, that I think TikTok is genuinely making everyone dumb. When I try to talk to kids my age, I can't go like a minute without hearing 6, 7 or another dumb TikTok trend that's been going around. I feel like a brand new person without TikTok. I've also taken the liberty of deleting Instagram because when I deleted TikTok the other time, I like to just go on Instagram Reels, which I'd like to argue is even worse than TikTok, but that's not what the focus of this video is about. My mind is a lot more clear. I can think better. I'm much more productive. I don't have the numbers 6 and 7 running in my mind constantly. It's just an overall improvement with TikTok gone in my life. An app that I once loved got ruined to shit by a bunch of greedy corporations. I wonder why I've seen that one before. If you like this video, please subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm still working on that Luigi's Mansion video. It's coming out soon, I swear.